Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So I just kind of wanted to give some first thoughts from playing the Resident Evil 4 remake. I've played through the first chapter now, and it is uploaded onto my channel if you want to go and watch that playthrough. There's no dialogue from me in it, no commentary whatsoever. So it's just a clean playthrough of the first chapter. I did die once or twice, so let's just go ahead and get into my first thoughts. I don't have a whole lot considering that I only played the first chapter, but one thing that I want to really point out is the details in this game are so beautiful. They just make the atmosphere a lot darker than the original RE4. And yes, there are some texture issues I've noticed. I don't know if that's primarily because of my system. I'm playing on the Xbox Series S. I think that it's probably a lot better, obviously, on the X and PlayStation 5 as well as the PC. So you probably will notice some of that. I have noticed some texture issues, but despite those, I think that the game is very well done as far as the atmosphere goes and just all of the little tiny details. Like, if you play it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It kind of puts me a lot in the mind of Resident Evil Village. I know that when Village came out, there was a lot of talk of, oh, it like kind of feels a lot like Resident Evil 4 in some ways. Well, now even more so. It's absolutely gorgeous. Excuse me. And I've also noticed that there's a lot more areas to explore. So you have more paths, you have more veering off to go find things, to break boxes, etc. And there's also more secret chests I've noticed that require keys. And there's also chests that have treasures in them, and the new treasure menu is pretty cool too. So it tells you what you can insert into the treasures to make them more valuable, and it's just a lot more in depth there instead of having to play a guessing game or research what the treasures need to make them more valuable. So I thought that was really interesting, which also brings me to the new storage box situation. So the typewriter now acts as kind of everything. It acts as your, like, almost like a little crafting station. It's your save spot, and it's your storage box. So that's where you can find all of the things that you've stored away. In my case, I got the deluxe edition, so all of my items that I purchased through the deluxe edition were in my typewriter, so that was very interesting to me. Now, mind you, all of these new little things that I am seeing, I never looked at any of the trailers or any of the information about the game coming up, so I don't know if they had gone into all of that before, but if they had, well, you all already know. I did not. So it's kind of some little fun new things for me to see. I also noticed with the first village scene, if you watch my playthrough, you'll notice that I died because I got swarmed so fast from the enemies. I kind of backed myself into a corner, and it was horrible, and the chainsaw guy showed up, and it was just a gruesome bloody death. So that was awful. But I do personally feel like that first village scene was a lot more intense than in Resident Evil 4 original. So I don't know if that's just me, but to me it felt more intense. The enemies felt kind of heavier, and to me, it seemed like there were a lot more of them. Now, after I died and I went and I played, I restarted it and I was playing the second time through, I actually ended up just kind of, I guess the clock was counting down. So by the time that I made it over to the house with the shotgun, I picked up the shotgun, and by then the bells tolled and the enemies were done. I don't even think that I killed the chainsaw guy. So that was kind of interesting, I thought. I think that was just a timing issue. I was just running around being kind of crazy. So, but yes, to me it just felt more intense. And then after that, you go to the farm, and that's where in the original game you had all those blue medallions to shoot. Well, this time it's like a little challenge. You pick up a blue piece of paper, and it's a challenge, and it tells you to collect 5 of them. So I went through and I got all the medallions, and it said that the reward was those little spinels, or however you say that. And I don't know if I even earned them. I just shot all 5 blue medallions, and then it was done. It said that I completed it. So another one of the last things that I want to touch on with the little farm scene after the blue medallion section was that there was a new enemy that I noticed, and it was a bigger enemy, and they had a animal head on their head. So I thought that was kind of a cool addition, because in a lot of horror things, whenever you're thinking of like creepy farm, creepy barn type situations, you see enemies with like pig heads, like Hello, American Horror Story, Roanoke, that type of vibe. So yes, they had an enemy like that, and he had a big old mallet, and it was very interesting, to say the least. That was a fun enemy to get with a shotgun. So just kind of laid my bullets into him there, and there was a whole swarm that come up around him. So yeah, that new enemy is also in my playthrough, closer to the end of the chapter. And yeah, just a lot more areas to explore. Very, very beautiful. Very scary. To me, it felt a lot scarier. I'm even playing in the daytime. Yes, I've got all my lights off and whatnot, but it felt way more immersive than Resident Evil 4 original. So that was great. It basically feels like an over-the-shoulder third-person horror game, like super scary Resident Evil Village to me. So that's awesome, because I did like Resident Evil Village. So I can't wait to get more into it and just kind of see what these other chapters and settings will be like. I'm super, super happy to get further past the village. I really want to see what they do with Ashley's character. I hope she's a lot more fun and interesting and not quite as annoying. I know I've said it so many times. I just can't stand her. So let's just, I know I'm so hateful, but I mean, does anybody really, really like her? I don't think so. I think she's just way too annoying. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. It was super spoiler heavy, but I would highly recommend this game to anybody. I mean, of course, if you like Resident Evil, you're probably going to buy it anyway, right? Yes. But I would highly recommend it. If you haven't jumped into Resident Evil games yet, I would say definitely go for it. And yeah, let's just play some more of it, get into it, and don't forget to check out my full Chapter 1 playthrough on my channel now. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. If you want to leave some comments down below, that would be phenomenal. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Bye!